FSU in 11 innings. Top of the 11th, tied at 3 when Doug DeCock drove in Mike Fiore with a single to left field. It was the first of 5 runs in that 11th. Ray Noriega's double added more insurance. 8-3 the final score. Game 2 is tonight at 7 o'clock.
The team will meet Florida State tonight in Tallahassee in Game 2 of that weekend series. Hurricanes took the opener last night.
Put up, okay? Thanks to plane reservations, which couldn't be changed, a rare tie in college baseball. Miami and the Noles rocked to a 1-all tie come the top of the 5th this afternoon. Suddenly, thanks to a key error from FSU, Miami able to break the game open. Will Vespi had already doubled home 1 run. Rob Word goes the back-to-back route. Suddenly, 4-1 Canes. Bottom of the 7th now. Canes up by 4. Bases loaded. No one out for the Noles. You get the idea. Dean Harris clears him out with a double off the right field wall. A 5-all draw. Both coaches agreed to end it after 8 as Joe Gray gets the final strikeout. Florida State on the bases loaded. Nobody out to start the 8th. They couldn't win the game. It ends in a tie.
Teams are evenly matched, but after splitting Game 1, then splitting Game 2, they came in 1-1, and Game 3 was so evenly matched, nobody won. Canes fall behind early on. This is not a base, it's a grounder to Doug DeCock. He'll take it, can't get the guy at home. Florida State leads 1-0. Canes come back, though, with a runner on third. George Robles will come in and score as the ball gets away. Wild pitch. Game is tied at 1 for the Canes third baseman. Rob Word to the plate. Solid shot down the line and left. That will be good for 2 RBIs. You tell the story in this one. The Canes took a 5-2 lead into the 7th. They had a curfew because Miami had to catch the plane. Florida State tied it with 2 outs in the 7th. And then in the 8th, they had the bases loaded with nobody out, but the Canes got out of the jam. The game ended in a 5-5 tie.
Florida State in any sport, anything can happen. And in this weekend's 3-game baseball series, anything and everything did happen. A close game, a rout, and today, a rarity. Hurricanes coach Ron Frazier not in a very good mood, and who can blame him considering his Canes were drubbed 20-8 last night. But Miami took charge today in the 5th. Rob Ward doubles it down the line. Mike Fiore will come around to score. Right behind him is Will Vespi, and the Hurricanes led it 4-2. 1 inning later, Frank Dominguez at the plate, and a hello, Frank Dominguez. Solo blast over the wall in left. That made it 5-2 Miami. But in the 7th, FSU strikes back. Dean Harrison sends this one deep to right, bounces it off the wall, and it was a bases-loaded clearing double. And that tied the game up at 5 apiece. Everybody safe for the Seminoles. Bottom of the 8th now. Seminoles, bases loaded. Canes relief pitcher Joe Gray in there. Gets out 3 batters in a row, strikeout there, and the Canes get out of Tallahassee with a tie. That's right, a tie. They called this game after 8 innings because the Canes had to leave Tallahassee to catch the last flight out of town. And that is what you call getting out by the skin of your teeth.
The Hurricanes and Florida State Seminoles squared off today in Tallahassee for the rubber game of their 3-game baseball series. Game was tied at 1-all the 5th when Will Vespi doubles down the third baseline, scoring Mike Tosar to put Miami on top 2-1. The next batter, Rob Ward, also doubles down the third baseline. That scores Mike Fiore and Will Vespi for a 4-1 Hurricanes lead. It was 4-2 in the 6th when Frank Dominguez crushes one to left center field. Get out of here, his 3rd homer of the year, and it's 5-2 Miami. But in the 7th, Dean Harrison doubles off the green screen in right with the bases loaded. Edwin Alicea, Barry Blackwell, and former Hurricane John Mark DeMaio all score to tie the game up at 5-all. Miami had to catch a plane, and both clubs agreed the bottom of the 8th would be it. It didn't look good for the Hurricanes when the Seminoles load the bases with no outs. But Miami inserts a 5th infielder while pulling Fiore from left. Also call upon Joe Gray to make a relief appearance and keep Florida State from scoring. The game ends up in a 5-all tie, the 3rd one in the long-running series.
Robles scores to make it 1-0. Noriega from Southwest High, just a freshman, but having a great year. Next batter is Doug DeCock, and he doubles past the third baseman down the line. Noriega scores to make it 3-0 UM. Freshman pitcher Steve Tucker had a big night. He struck out 9 as Miami wins it over FAU. The final is 12-3.
36th win of the year, defeating Florida Atlantic tonight 12-3. Miami now 36-6-1 on the season.